Hi everybody, and welcome back to another weekly Wolf Vlog. My name's Joshua, and today we're going to be taking a look at troubleshooting whilst on the bar. Some of the things I might mention in this vlog today might seem really simple and easy to remember, but definitely on those early mornings while you're dialing in, you might not have even had your espresso. I for one am guilty of it. I might have missed something as easy as making sure that my espresso grinder was turned on, and it sent me into a panic wondering why my grinder wasn't working. So let's take a look now and troubleshoot the things that can go wrong when you least expect it. First up is your espresso grinder. We here at Wolf on the bar use the Mazza Konies, and essentially though all espresso grinders are built in a similar fashion. When you have an issue with your grinder, I definitely go back to the source and make sure A, that my grinder is first plugged in, and B, then it is turned on. However, espresso grinders do have a safety function that's built into the hopper. So when you remove the hopper from the grinder, a lot of espresso machines have a safety function which will turn off your grinder. Now occasionally those hopper systems don't properly impress the button, or the button has popped out, and you'll find that your grinder isn't turning on at all, and it might just be the fact that your safety button is pressed out or is out of function. So it's really important to head straight upstairs and check to make sure that that safety function is working. What I do here is just quickly remove the hopper, pop it up, place it back down gently onto the grinder, and hopefully that fixes the issue of turning the grinder on. One of the other big issues we have with grinders is that it's turning on. It seems to be working when you push the button, however there's no beans grinding out of the grinder. It can be as simple as just checking to see if your hopper gate is open. So most grinders have a gate that closes off the beans from your hopper to the actual blades themselves, then that allows you to remove the hopper without any beans spilling out and all over the place. Now, we close that off throughout the night to remove the beans, and occasionally you might place the beans back in and forget to open that of a morning. So you turn on your grinder, you go to grind, and the beans haven't even passed through the grinder. So really important, again, if your grinder is working and it seems to hear like it's grinding, come upstairs and just open that gate. By doing that, that allows the beans to drop down onto the blades and you can start grinding away. So following through from making sure that your grinder is turned on, the hopper gate is open. Now, if you are grinding through and it is still not coming out, what you certainly would want to check is to see if the fineness and coarseness of the grind is allowing the beans to pass through. Now sometimes that could have been fiddled with on a close. You might have knocked it and turned it all the way to fine, and if it's too fine then the beans will not be able to pass through the blades. You might even hear metal on metal, which is not great, and you want to avoid that at all costs. But definitely want to check that the dial hasn't been changed all the way to fine. If that is the case and the dial is set to very, very fine and it doesn't allow the beans to pass through, turn that dial back to coarse slowly until you find the coffee is pouring out at a reasonable speed again. One of the things that happens occasionally on the bar at Wolf is we'll get a blockage after grinding the beans and within the chute. So the grinder is working, however, the blockage at the fine end of the chute is allowing doses to build up in the chute, and you're not seeing any grinds falling into the portafilter. At that point, you're questioning why the grinder is not grinding, and just a simple look into the chute will let you know whether there is any blockage of grinds and any build-up. At that point, just either grabbing a brush or the back of a spoon. Now, I'm not recommending shoving anything up towards the blades themselves, but just getting rid of that blockage should get the grind working and back again. Now, some grinders don't look quite like this and they don't have a chute quite similar. However, there might be a blockage further up in the line, perhaps even between the hopper gate and the blades themselves, or post blades and between where that and the coffee will fall out. So if you have to take your grinder apart and look beyond the blades themselves, I'd certainly recommend getting one of your service team or the cafe manager to help you out with that. Beyond that, definitely make sure that you have beans in your hopper and you're good to go. Now, any electrical issues, again, if you follow the electrical from the source to the grinder and you can't see any issues there, then I would certainly get one of your maintenance repairmen or a cafe manager to help you out. It could be something further down the line. Now let's take a look at the espresso machine and see what the common